You're creating your own world when you're with someone, whether it's a casual thing or a long-term relationship. You can create any belief systems and patterns that you want. To have good sex, I feel like you cannot be afraid of being a little nasty, really just enjoying that intimate connection that you're having with the vulva. And really at the root of good loving and good lovemaking is a sense of deconstructed shame. I'm really excited to welcome you into this safe space, an open conversation about queerness, pleasure, desire, sexuality. I just want this to be a place where you can breathe deeply for a moment into what feels true for you outside of labels or boxes or how politicized it is to be a queer person in this world. I feel like queerness is a way of life and a way of loving that is so deeply intimate, that is constantly asking you to be more, to explore the bounds of your expression. And really at the root of good loving and good lovemaking is a sense of deconstructed shame, a sense of freedom to explore all of your desires and to listen to where it lives and how pleasure wants to be expressed in your body. I'm sharing all of this as a preface because I have always known that I liked women from a very young age, kissing my girlfriends, and then any girl that I knew was gay in my school, I would just sort of beeline to them and be like, hey, you know, we have something in common. And I was not that forward at all, but that was just the energy, was like, I'm so excited to investigate this desire that lives within me. And at the same time, there is an immense amount of fear and immense amount of internalized homophobia that I couldn't even clock mentally. I would just feel so anxious every time after I would see my high school girlfriend, and I didn't know why. Feeling this sense of what I was doing was wrong, even though everything in me was enjoying it in the moment. And it took years of me greeting that wall and pushing against it and allowing myself to breathe deeply into what I knew was pure and true within me, and then hooking up with a friend that I felt really safe with, that dispelled, and then I never had to deal with that anxiety again. As I'm sharing these sort of sex tips and sharing like what to do with your mouth or your body, it all is actually so intuitive in the moment if you are able to just listen to what your primal, desirous, enchanted part of your mind wants to do. The first few years that I was intimate with women, it was mostly with unspoken confessions in the dark, with fingertips grazing each other's skin and long, passionate makeouts and nothing more. And I did not have sex with a woman until a little bit later in my life, even though I knew I was queer for years. I felt so good at penetrative sex because I felt good at performing. I knew how to play the role. I just felt like it was a very basic anatomical thing that was happening. With women, I would always get it projected onto me, especially from men, that, oh, it must be so great hooking up with women. Like, you literally have the same body part. You know exactly what to do. But everyone receives pleasure a little bit differently. Everyone needs a different kind of stimulation, and there are no really basic rules laid out. Everything is on the table. Every orifice, every finger stroke, every stroke of your tongue. It is just so much more to work with. There's mathematical equations happening in all directions every time, which is why there can be no direct queer sex guide, because it is all about discovery and finding out and being brave enough to just explore each other's pleasure. But I will just share some basic things that help. First of all, make a journal of your desires. Make a space in your own life where you regularly get to tap into the pleasure that lives inside of your body. Any juicy fantasies that you find yourself having and being struck into presence by, write them down. Maybe you're logging some of your favorite self-pleasure sessions. Make a space for you to be fully welcoming your pleasure. And I also quickly wanted to share that the sponsor of today's video is Lelo, which is a luxury sex toy brand. This is the Lelo Switch, which could be helpful to you on this journey of deconstructing shame. It has ultra soft sensorial ribs and dual vibrating monitors on each end so that you can just get everything you could possibly want in one toy that has great battery life. It is so soft. It has 16 vibrational intensities. There are 10 powerful modes, from slow pulses to rhythmic waves that really draw out your climax. And you can unlock huge discounts right now before anyone else, and you can also stack my code with other deals. So it's a great time to invest in a new high quality toy, explore the depths of your own pleasure. I love a nice little curved insertable toy for pleasure mapping. I'm also really grateful to Lelo for sponsoring this video, because because that makes these conversations possible, and they are really just trying to normalize masturbation and conversations about sex just like me. So they're a perfect fit. I hope that you check them out. The link will be down below. I'm really into the idea of making love to your partner through all of the senses. So speaking their praises, giving them oiled up massages after the shower, burning incense, lighting candles, making it smell good, cooking them meals and feeding them regularly, like all the different ways that you can make someone's nervous system feel regulated, calm, loved. That is a form of lovemaking that can extend far beyond the bedroom and is really great foreplay. I think foreplay is actually like 80% of sex. Write them love letters, tell them what about them is turning you on, and create this regular language of worship within one another. Having long makeout sessions where you don't have sex is also so healthy and so good in long-term relationships for keeping that fire alive, not needing to have the pressure to get to any point, but to make out like you used to when you first started dating and be in that enchanting state. I really like tender makeout sessions, so where your lips are extra supple and you're not making them really hard. Soft lips, taking your time, introducing tongue, like not needing to go in there right away, teasing the tongue very little by little. Maybe that's not the whole point of the makeout either. Maybe you're just there suckling on each other's lips, biting them, rubbing your lips around each other, licking each other's lips. Preference, but I personally love a makeout that I'm just really feeling their mouth on mine, and I don't need to be having their tongue every second. I think that it's kind of hot to tease the tongue a little bit. And also going into sex, not thinking about immediately trying to make them come, but just enjoying the present moment together, enjoying the subtle sensations of each other's bodies. If you know how to make your partner come, it can be easy to get in that rhythm of like having some pattern or wanting to do the same positions that you know get them there. Take time to explore every time. If it's not a quickie, like take time to use the environment around you. Maybe it's the wall or the bed frame, or you slide the mirror in front of your bed, and be guided by the environment. What kind of lovemaking you actually want to have in that moment. Maybe you've both been really heated and stressed and you want to have a little bit more rough play and you bend them over and spank them, or maybe you just need to unwind and so you light the candles and you get the oils out and you massage each other, and it's that really slow kind of burn, just listening to the momentum of the moment without having that immense pressure to get your partner to climax, because it's gonna happen eventually if you are being present and if you are being curious. I'm just gonna do the whole play-by-play thing that I do with making love. This area, the earlobe, the neck, the collarbone, I mean honestly the whole chest, the belly button, the hips, the inner thighs, the lower back, pretty much the whole body, but these points feel extra good to stimulate, to kiss, and to suckle on. I feel like just the tips of the fingers is also so sensual and will bring your partner into their body. That's another thing that sex feels like to me, is just an invitation to breathe deeply into places that I don't normally get to, or maybe I haven't been all day. Like, what is my forearm doing? I haven't brought any awareness to that. What about like my inner thigh or my ankle? I love these light little touches, and that is a really fun form of foreplay. Maybe when you're eating dinner, just stroking up the arm, giving that eye contact. When I'm really trying to draw a partner in and I'm not trying to be so overtly like, let's have sex, I really like to put it on my mind and then gaze it out through my eyes, or to try to exude it in my body language, in the way that I'm interacting with them, in the way I'm touching them. And it feels kind of like this fun, playful game. And maybe you whisper in their ear exactly what dirty thoughts you've been having about them all day, what your daydreams are with them, maybe your devotion. I feel like devotion kink is definitely a thing. Getting a little possessive with it, like, I'm so happy you're mine, this body is just for me, this pleasure is just for me, all of those moans are just for me, things like that. I think that's so sexy. Like, you're my fucking wife, I'm gonna show you why I deserve you. I don't know, get creative with it. And something really fun you can do is to touch each other the way that you like to be touched. So after you're both really warmed up, just gazing into each other's eyes, making out, stimulating each other, and showing your partner how you like to be pleasured on their body. You can also just do like a mutual masturbation session and show them. I think this is really hot, but it's really fun to do it to each other and just invite them to show you exactly the kind of pressure they like inside of them, on the outside of the vulva. Both of you can be in pleasure together, which is a really beautiful and fun thing. So after you've awakened their body, you're getting closer to going down there. Pretty basic, but take your time before stimulating the clitoris. Take your time kissing around the vulva, approaching the clitoris slowly, maybe with some lazy movements, not too much firmness, a really soft touch with your tongue, maybe leaving and then coming back and just sort of teasing it up. And there are a few different things you can do with your tongue. I think there's like a more flaccid, soft tongue stroking, and then a harder one where your tongue is more pointed and focused. You can go up and down, you can go left to right, you can swirl around, you can suction your lips and swirl around. You can suck on and off, suck and break the suction back and forth, alternate between using your hands and stroking up and down, also with your tongue from the very base of the vulva all the way up. After maybe they're wet, you can experiment with sliding a finger in. I usually like to start off with one at the base, slowly let it rest in there for a second. Maybe you circle it around, give a full massage. There's so much emphasis on the G-spot, which is about 2 inches inside of the vaginal wall on the top. It's a little bit rougher. Anatomically, this generally feels good for everyone, is that come hither motion, but do not overlook all the other walls. There's so much going on. There's so many areas of sensation and sensitivity. So explore what feels good and take your time being entertained and being in mutual pleasure, just watching your partner enjoy themselves. So watch their reactions with what feels good. Sometimes going down more toward the perineum feels really good, and do a little bit of yoni mapping with your fingers. You can also maybe use a thumb in the perineum area if that feels good for them, and be doing both. Also, the fingers up, these two fingers can be stimulating the clitoris like that, or the thumb, or you can put a thumb inside and then stimulate with the palm of your hand. In general, having that clitoral and G-spot stimulation feels really good, but some people don't even like fingers, so making sure to communicate throughout all of this. And I used to be really shy about communication, that I should just be able to figure out what the person wants and just know their body, but that only happens with communication. And it is really hot to make your partner feel safe enough to tell you what is feeling good, and asking specific questions will help you to get there. So is this pressure okay? Is this speed okay? Is this too hard? Do you want me to go softer? Is it okay if I slide a finger in? Is it okay if I slide 2 fingers in? Did you like what I was doing before better? If maybe they were moaning and really liked it before and now they're not, like, oh, maybe I'll go back to the other thing. Asking detail-oriented questions so that your partner doesn't have to overthink about how to communicate, like, you're kind of hurting me, or that's a lot, or that's intense. Just giving them the opportunity to be like, actually, yeah, I think I want you to speed up, or maybe go a little bit harder, and just having those sort of questions to make it easier for them. Also, if you are on the receiving end, I think that it's okay to lovingly move your partner's head in the right direction of exactly where you want, or if they're hitting a spot, you maybe hold their head where you want it to be and say, that's the spot right there. Be a really good communicator on the receiving end as well, like you're doing everything just right. I really like what you were just doing. I really like when both of your fingers are inside me, like going up and down rather than in and out. Just get comfortable with the language and terminology of what your body likes, and know that holding back that information and just accepting whatever kind of touch that you're getting, even if it literally feels painful, is such a big waste of time. You're creating your own world when you're with someone, whether it's a casual thing or a long-term relationship. You can create any belief systems and patterns that you want. And for me, I really love having open, easy, clear communication about sex. No shame. Tell me what you like. Tell me what I could do better. Tell me anything that you're insecure about. Like, all of it is on the table. So be the example in the bedroom. And you can do this leading up to lovemaking as well. Even sharing the things in your body that you're insecure about and that you love having more affirmation about, that to feel open. Patriarchy has created so many quiet little demons of insecurity in all of us, and it feels really beautiful to know that with the person you're engaging with sexually, you are helping to dismantle those things. And that's another way that you can be allies for each other, is helping to deconstruct different forms of shame. Bodily shame, sexual shame. So tell your partner what's feeling good, what could be feeling a little bit different, maybe better. Explore with the fingers, with the mouth. Don't feel like you need to stay in the same position the whole time. While using your fingers, it is also really fun to pull them into you face to face. You're both fingering each other, eye gazing, and this is a really fun form of mutual pleasure. I feel like queer sex is so much about giving and receiving, one person usually being on one end. Maybe you're switching back and forth a lot, but it isn't as frequent that you're both pleasuring each other at the same time. And this is one of my favorite things to do because it just feels so energetically like intense, and I just fall in love when I'm making eye contact and sharing pleasure. This is a great position for that. And also sideways 69ing, also having a mirror in front of your bed so that both of you are getting the visual delight of what is going on every single second is 10 out of 10. Take your time getting to that end zone and really just enjoying that intimate connection that you're having with the vulva that is so beautiful, that gets engorged in different ways, that, you know, makes different sounds. Like certain things will make the vulva really wet. Just getting so excited about that whole experience and relationship that you're having. And you can almost visualize your light and your love, as corny as it sounds, going into them, like looking at them, gazing at them with the eyes and the energy of pure love and worship. And once you feel like they are ready, of course, locking into whatever you're doing with your mouth, with your fingers, staying there, staying as consistent as you can be, not even speeding up, staying at the same speed, staying at the same stroke. You can also hold their hips in place, because when someone's getting kind of close, they can arch or move around and then lose that specific angle that was feeling really good. So holding their hips in place, and then also to avoid your tongue from getting really tired, move your whole mouth at the same time rather than just your tongue. Move the whole mouth as one unit, and don't be afraid to make noises, slurping noises, like any sort of sucking, slurping, licking noises. I think that those are really hot and just a sign that you're feasting and doing a good job. To have good sex, I feel like you cannot be afraid of being a little nasty about just your bodily functions. You know, maybe you're switching positions and you have a little bodily fart thing. Maybe you queef. Like, there are different things. Maybe you have to go pee midway through, and just getting comfortable in being in a body. Maybe that means that you want to have really good lighting the first few times and not have sex in a completely sunlit room. That's okay too. Just get yourself to a place where you are willing to unmask yourself fully in front of a partner and trust that they think that you're sexy. I mean, they're there because they think that you're sexy and beautiful. So working on breathing deeply into that, like, I'm being seen and it is okay. I'm being seen and I am beautiful. I'm being seen, and this is a good experience for us both. Continue speaking their praises throughout this, or maybe just as they're getting closer to that end zone period. Like, I've been thinking about this all day. I'm so happy that I'm the one who gets to receive your orgasm. I want to do this to you all the time. You're mine. Just, you know, whatever is feeling alive in you at that moment, which is such a glorious moment. It is a glorious moment. Fingers alone, especially fingers that know how to just deeply engage the different walls, the G-spot, it feels more fulfilling than anything to me, and I never find myself missing a penis in my life at all. It's just wonderful. I feel free. But aftercare feels pretty intuitive. Holding your partner, talking about the sex, just taking time in the quiet, in the slowness, kissing each other's bodies, eye gazing, just reveling in all the energy that hath risen. I really feel like quiet and just a meditative calmness is what builds pleasure, arousal, love for me. So this is what aftercare looks like for me. It's just eye gazing, a lot of quiet, sort of like this meditative trance that we can enter into. And maybe you read each other your little diary entries or read each other poetry. I feel like this is just an easy thing to do at night. During the day, if you're just had a quickie, or if it's midday and you have to go and do things, I always just like to end lovemaking with affirmations, like what felt amazing about it, helping each other get dressed, you know, fully closing off that moment in a loving way, rather than, okay, I'm gonna run out of here and not acknowledge you because the deed is done. The basis of it it being exploration and play and fun, being in that curiosity together and seeing what comes from there. And know that you can slow things down at any point. Just know that you can be present with your moment-to-moment experience in lovemaking. It can be really vulnerable at different points. You can say, hey, wait, whoa, can you come back up here and kiss me? Or can we take a break? It is always an option for you to go at your own pace. And I just want to invite you to be fully engaged while you're making love. Just know that the point is for you to co-create pleasure and play with someone else moment to moment. So maybe that looks like you need to stop, maybe that looks like you need to breathe a little bit deeper, and that is completely welcome. I know I make a decent amount of videos talking about sexuality, but I do feel like celibacy is also part of the continuum of being a sexual person, taking time, not sharing your sexual energy. That is how I feel pretty much every single time I'm single nowadays, is like I'm just trying to keep my energy to myself and heal, let go of past sexual trauma, life trauma, and just cultivate a really good connection to my life force, pouring it into creativity, like working on my boundaries. Sex is such an intimate and vulnerable thing, and although we are moving into a hyper conservative society that is really concerning, I don't make these videos just to be a rebellion against that. I don't think that you have to engage in hookup culture and be like careless about sex in any way as a revolution against conservative, far-right, traditional ideals about sex. I think you owning what is right for your body is the revolution. You saying no, you not engaging in sex, or maybe you only having sex with the person you're married to, whatever it looks like for you, that is what empowerment looks like, and that's what freedom is you being able to decide for yourself. So please do that. However, this is a sex positive space, this is a queer friendly space, and I'm so grateful for you being curious and just tuning in once again to have this conversation. If you have any tips that you would like to share, I would love to read them down below. I think we'd all be happy to receive anything that helped you, especially in regards to queer sex. It is a journey for us all. Every queer person I know, it almost brings tears to my eyes knowing that we've had to go through a journey of reckoning within ourselves and then coming out to the people around us and then feeling comfortable to be engaging in sex. It's just such a intimate fucking journey with one's own spirit. So anything that you want to share around queerness, please leave it below. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that you have listened deeply enough to know who you are, to be guided by the information inside of yourself. And that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Reminder to check out Lalo if you're curious in a new toy, and I'll see you next time. Bye!